Testing 1, 2, 3, penis vagina.
My name is Lauren Vabre. In this movie, I play female SS.
My name is Dima Shmakov.
My name is Rachel Crow, and I am playing a Nazi, a plain erect Nazi that gets possibly raped and killed by savages.
I feel like playing a Nazi for someone like me isn't weird because I'm half Jewish or half... It's going to sound bad to say half Jewish, half Hebrew. Okay, well, half...
In the beginning, once the idea of playing a Nazi was proposed to me, I had a quick knee-jerk reaction of thinking it was kind of a weird thing that I didn't want to do. But then when I started hearing more about the plot and I got the shot list, I thought it was a pretty amazing idea. And hey, I mean, Nazis need to be made fun of a little more.
I don't think it's really weird for me to be a Nazi. I mean, it's weird for anybody to be a Nazi, but I feel like it's funnier because, like, I think everyone who plays a Nazi in this is, like, partial, at least Jewish or, like, somewhat Jewish, which makes it, like, ha ha ha, I guess. And I feel like me, like, I'm not Jewish by religion, but, like, most of my family is, so I feel like it's kind of, I mean, it is kind of awful in a weird way, but it's also kind of funny. Like, it's an awful situation. Yeah, you don't want to laugh at the Holocaust, but I mean... Okay, I can't really explain this in a way it's not going to sound offensive or racist. Fuck. Well, okay, if you can't laugh at Nazis, who the hell are you going to laugh at?
Yes, I am Russian. And I informed in my first letter I sent to the director that I speak with a slight Russian accent. And he said, yeah, we'll go for it. Because it might sound like German, might not sound like German, make some difference or make no difference. We will just do it and see.
How did I get this role? I'm trying to remember. I want to say Bill called me when I was in Germany, which is kind of funny considering I ended up playing a Nazi. I was in Germany for like a totally unrelated business trip. And it's like, all right, well, I'm here. Let's research this character. Just kidding. But yeah, no, he just ran the idea by me. And like, I guess when something is so weird, you think like, well, this is so weird. It must be awesome. You know, it's just crazy enough to work.
Well, what got me a role in this movie was I watched the mockumentary Sandman, which featured Bill, and I thought to myself, I could work with this guy. So I wrote him from his website, and I told him that I could be hotter and better than anyone else he's ever worked with. And then here we are today.
I was selected for an audition, and it was going to be in the city. And yeah, actually... Things didn't start off really too good. My dog had an eye infection and I couldn't make it. I told the director that I really, really wanted to be in this movie. And he gave me another chance. And I came out to New Jersey and I had an audition at the New Jersey Transit train station in Clifton. And we did it right there. I just read a little piece out of a book that he had me read in an accent. And then we did some minor stage combat stuff, and I shared with him that I can do a cartwheel, so he liked that. Yeah, I'm very thankful that I was able to do that.
Did I know that the director has a reputation of being offensive before I agreed to do this film? No, I didn't know about that, and I don't really see how he can be offensive. He makes jokes sometimes. They may seem offensive to some people, but to me, it was just funny.
So it's always actually an interesting conversation starter when you're talking about a Zebub film, because how else can you like lead into that? Just like, okay, hey friend, what's up? Just want to like Google ant farm dickhole real quick? Like, how, you got to be curious at that point. Even if you don't want to, you're like, well, I got to see it now. Especially if all you see is a screen cap of like your friend getting like a spider humping them and silly string and like all the other weird stuff. Like all they get is a little tidbit of it, and it draws them in for better or for worse.
Bill Zebub's movies are basically making fun of themselves. So in a way, it's a genre of its own. But within that are several different styles of shooting and different types of exploitation and horror and now a little gore.
There's always like a really funny way to lead into like getting someone to watch a Zebub movie. Like, I feel like you should just pick one element of it and be like, so have you heard of blah, 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 and wait for the reaction. Like, for this one, you'd be like, so what would you think about Nazis and cannibals on an island together? ... Like, let that sink in for a second, and then they'll be like, go on. You know, if they're not curious, well, fuck them. Because most people that have at least a cool sense of humor or at least a little bit weird will be curious to be like, Nazis, cannibals, island. I'm intrigued.
Well, I think the movie is about the group of Nazis get lost in a jungle and being basically treated as they treat other people.
Yes, I can confirm that this movie completely, it's satire. It makes fun of Nazis. Like, Nazis are the dumbasses in this movie. They get their asses handed to them. They get murdered and eaten and raped because they're Nazis and they deserve it. And that's what makes it kind of funny is, like, they're humorous Nazis and they get to have, like, funny Nazi banter. And then at the end of the day, they get what's coming to them. So a lot of the jokes definitely poke fun at the Nazis, but also making it very realistic that they are still the bad guys. So it's not racist at all. There's nothing derogatory about the film. You gotta have a good sense of humor, yeah, but it paints the Nazis in a correct light. Let's put it that way. They're assholes in this movie, like usual.
What would I tell a stranger that this movie is about? Well, first of all, I would ask them what is their comfort level with skin.
I actually wouldn't describe this movie to many friends because I don't think that they would understand it. But those who have a sense of humor, I would say that it's kind of the opposite of what Nazis would actually want themselves to be thought of.
Kind of hard to explain nazi-sploitation, but I would say it's like the satirical Nazi films, not quite Grindhouse style, but like She-Wolf of the SS type. Like, it's so over the top. You know that they're trying to be tongue-in-cheek with it, but it's still dealing with offensive content. It's still Nazis and it's still Holocaust, and then you're cannibals into the mix and all this stuff. So it's definitely like a lot of offensive topics, but it's like when you take all the offensive topics and put them in like a movie soup, it's got to be funny. You know, you can't really be offended by that. And I feel like by making it over the top, that's the selling point. By having like the very German-looking women with the swastikas and the whole shebang, you know, talking comically, having the fake accent here and there. Like, it's like the stupidness of it makes it funny and makes it not offensive.
Believe it or not, I actually flew from Colorado to New Jersey with a layover somehow in Tennessee to be in this movie.
So what was it like actually hitting people versus pretending to hit people? Well, I was a little scared. I kept asking my co-star, like, are you sure that this is okay? Like, I didn't want to, like, kill the guy.
I never did stage comedy before. I never fight in a film or scene or whatever. And basically we were learning all the moves right on the spot and learning how to do them safely. And actually I had to evaluate how hard can my co-star hit me at some points. And that was pretty cool.
Okay, it's really hard to punch a person in real life without actually punching them, but still punching them. Like, you can fake punch someone like, that's one thing, but when you want to actually get like an impact, you have to like hit them, but you don't want to hurt them. And it's hard to kind of know your own strength sometimes. And like, even in one of the practice, I went to like fake hit Bill, but I actually like punched him. I didn't mean to. I was just like, oh, like this, boom. And I kind of like kangaroo socked him. Like, you know, kangaroo will just like look at you and then sock you in the face real quick, way harder than you think they would. I kangaroo socked him. I didn't want to kangaroo sock this girl because her face is really pretty. I don't want to mess it up. It's pretty. So I had to like quickly like hit her, but like, I don't know. It was awkward. It was hard. And even when I was doing it, I'm like, I didn't want to miss and hit like her eye or her chin because you're swinging, and it's nerve-wracking. You don't want to hurt somebody on accident unless they're Bill. You can punch him all the time.
Work harder, not retarder.
There is this like a one joke that I can't believe Bill Zebub didn't come up with, and I'm gonna say for the record that I came up with it. So if he steals my idea in this movie, find him and kick him in the balls for me, because my idea. He had this line in here about like a quasi-dicka as like a plain word for swastika, and I'm like, you're a dumbass. Why don't you just do swastika? Swastika, because I'm a Nazi and I'm a bitch. Calling me a swastika would be like an amazing punchline. But nope, he didn't think of that. That's my genius, not his. So guess you just hand the writing job over to me.
Is it true that I have a romance with my co-star? No, this is not true.
What was it like making out with Bill Zebub?
No, that didn't happen.
I want to see me like cut a dick off on film. Like, that's been a long time dream of mine, to like sever a penis on camera. Like, as a female, I feel like it's my job for all women to be like, hi-ya, into the woods with you. No, I'm kidding. It's just it's such a silly thing. It's something you always joke about, like, I'm gonna cut your dick off, or, right? You joke about that with your boyfriend, like, oh, I'm just gonna cut your dick off one of these days. It's like that thing you say to your significant other. It's like that, but then you actually do. No, I just think it's so comical because it's like, Nazi, 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 oh no, dead bodies, half naked Nazi, 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 fight scene, Nazi, Nazi, rape, and then Nazi, Nazi, dick sever, dead Nazi.
The movie is about some Nazi officers who are fleeing to possibly Argentina. The war is over, and they're trying to escape. They crash, and they encounter some cannibals. And after a while, the tables are turned.
This movie is Nazis. This movie is cannibals. This movie is perverted. This movie is weird, but I guess that's what makes it fun. I guess, what do? I'm a Nazi. And I guess I crash land here, and we get scattered, and I get stuck with the dumbass, or the dumbass. I get stuck with the weirdo. And then there's some, like, fights, and some murder, and some rape, and some penis severing, and like an all-around good time. Right? Or did I just give away the whole thing? Sorry, spoilers.
Tod vermeidest, das Wiederverbrennung verlieren. Mein Geruch ist die Vollkommenheit. Spiegeln sich in meiner Oberfläche. Ich wurde an den Fluss ausverkauft. An den roten Austauschbaren Sklaven.